So a couple weeks ago, after my house burned down, these were the only material possessions I owned. Right here. Apart from my car, which thankfully survived. This is everything I owned. Everything I had to my name was in these 3 bags. I had about a week's worth of clothes in that bag, some tech gear in here, including a small form factor desktop PC, and a 24-inch monitor. That was it. This is my whole world, my whole material world. And now I've been slowly collecting more things. I've got some furniture here still in boxes. I've got a cat tree for the cats. But this month has been the most insane month. And I don't mean that lightly. I mean that literally. This has been the most insane month of my life. So much has changed in such a short span of time. It's still overwhelming to me. I think I'm still partially in shock. But the dust has settled enough to the point where I'm finally ready to talk about it with you.
Before we continue, this video is sponsored by Rocket Money. Guys, as some of you know, I have a crippling addiction to Pokemon trading cards.
Pikachu.
I can't tell you how many times I've almost lost my house because I blew all my money getting loaded on booster packs. That's when Rocket Money stepped in and saved my life. Rocket Money is the personal finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, lower bills, and manage your money so you can pocket the savings. Now I can afford Pokemon cards without having to sell legally acquired catalytic converters. I've been using Rocket Money to easily cancel unwanted subscriptions. It securely identifies recurring charges and takes care of the cancellations for you, making customer service calls ancient history. You can even cancel from within the app with just a few taps. Might as well tap some waifus while you're at it.
Me?
Simply upload a photo of your bill, and a few taps later, Rocket Money will automatically negotiate your bills, from internet services to cable and phone bills. Members who use all of Rocket Money's features save up to $740 a year with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. Don't let unwanted spending make you so desperate for Pokemon cards that you're doing favors behind the pawn shop on Lakewood. We've all been there. Go to rocketmoney.com/bitwit or click the link in the description to get started for free. You can also unlock even more features with premium. That's rocketmoney.com/bitwit to get started for free.
First of all, can I just say I hate personal updates, okay? Because they're never good. No one's ever like, attention everyone, I won the lottery. It's always like, hey y'all, I'm getting divorced. Or, so my house burned down. And that's not great. It's always something terrible. So I don't like doing it, but I know that some of you have been wanting it. Just, out of concern for me, understandably, and thank you. So I'm doing this partially for you and partially for me. I think it's going to be good for me to acknowledge it in this way. I think is part of accepting it, and the sooner I can accept it fully, the sooner I can move on. Yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good for everyone. But this is going to be a super rambly video. I have a loose outline that I might reference, but I'm going to go off the rails probably a bunch, so apologies in advance. But I think I'll start with just a brief recap of everything that's happened since the fire. So my house burned down on January 8th. It was, sort of like midnight of January 7th. And but by the morning of January 8th, it was gone. And I was in Las Vegas at the time covering CES. And once I got the news that my house was probably gone, burned down, I immediately packed up my stuff and drove back home. It's about a four-hour drive from Vegas back to Los Angeles. And when I arrived, I just drove straight to my parents' place, and my mom was a wreck. She was in shambles. And it was, I was just in shock, I was just like, what? Personally, I was just thinking of what I had to do. I just had this laundry list. It was suddenly this giant list of things I have to do now that I don't have, I don't have a house. I don't have anywhere to live. I don't have any things. So I was just going through that list and I didn't have a chance to feel anything. My mind was so busy. And so for that first week that I was truly homeless, I stayed with my friend and a good friend of mine who I've known for a very long time. Stayed with him for about a week, and then I found this place. This place it's a one-bedroom apartment and it's in Orange County. So it's about an hour from my house, which means it's about an hour from the studio office as well, which is still standing, thankfully, but I'll circle back to that in a moment. So this place is nice. You know, it's a lot smaller than my last place, but it's more than enough for what I need right now. The thing is, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. You know, I've been talking to the insurance companies nonstop. They say it could take anywhere between 2 and 3 years to rebuild my house. I don't know if I'm going to be here for that entire time, or if I'm going to find a different place, if I'm going to outgrow this place. I don't know yet. I don't know. Right now, I'm in taking it a day at a time mode. That's about as much as I can handle. And, you know, people are like, what are you going to do? Are you going to like rebuild the house and sell it? Are you going to move back into that area? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm really not leaning any way. But things are coming together. I love the fact that I'm really close to my friends and family now. They're all about 5 minutes away. They're all down the block. And that's been really nice during this time. Everyone's been so supportive. I, you know, things are good, but I'm sure a lot of people will be asking this if I don't address it directly, which is, you know, how are you doing, Kyle? And, you know, I'm still feeling this weird mix of emotions, but it's a combination of sad, stressed, and hopeful, oddly enough. I'm probably on like on a 1 to 10 scale. Let's make this scientific. I'm probably like a 5 for sadness. You know, I was probably like a 6 when it happened, but now I'm kind of at a 5. That's bound to go down. So I'm sad. You know, I'm not devastated. I am sad that I lost a lot of sentimental items in the fire that cannot be replaced. Photos, gifts, some handmade. You know, some not, but just incredibly sentimental from loved ones, friends, family, that sort of thing. That's very sad. It's very sad. But you know, I can't say that alone. Like the possessions I've lost alone are keeping me up at night. But what is keeping me up at night is the stress, because like I mentioned, there's so many things that I have to do. I've been on phone calls left and right. The first week was nonstop. Insurance companies, mortgage company, you know, having to forward all my mail to a new address, canceling my utilities, just a million things. Setting up all the new utilities here, which I still don't have gas. There's still no gas. The gas service is backed up. The gas company's backed up because of the fires, which is kind of funny because I'm a victim of the fires. So I'm holding myself up. I don't know, but still no hot water here, no heater. I've not taken a hot shower. I haven't taken any shower here. I know it's disgusting. You don't want to know how long it's been since I've showered. I don't want to know. Lost count. But where was I going with that? Yeah, so there was, you know, the stress. The stress has been insane, and it's getting better. It's getting better slowly. I hired a public adjuster to handle my insurance claim, and that makes me feel good. That's a weight off my shoulders. And, you know, but like I also said, there's a feeling of, there's almost, it's like one type of stress replaced another, because even though I lost everything, that's also the reason why, in some ways, I feel so much lighter. Things just feel lighter because I'm not burdened by a bunch of stuff. I think when I was, you know, before all this, I just had so much stuff, and I had a house, you know, not a mansion, but a house that was definitely too big for just me. You know, it's a single family home. It's not a one dude home. And there was just a lot to take care of, and just a lot to think about. You know, this needs to get fixed. That needs to get fixed. I need to remodel that at some point. This needs a reno. You know, it was just a lot. And I think a lot of those little things just kind of drag you down. Like they say, it's cliche. What is it? What do they say? You don't own your possessions; they end up owning you. That sort of thing. I feel like I get that. I relate to that a bit more with this whole situation now that with everything that's happened. Like it does feel like there's less distraction. Like when I'm working, I can just focus on the work. I don't even feel tempted to look around because there's nothing else. It's just this 6 foot folding table and a folding chair with a couch in the background that's been hijacked by the cats. So there it has been there's been a weight lifted in some way. I'm also not thinking about, like, I had a lot of little hobbies. I like to collect Pokemon cards, for example. I lost every Pokemon card in the fire. I'm not thinking about Pokemon cards right now because I'm like, at this point, I could change my tune later. But right now, I'm like, what's the point of even buying another Pokemon pack of cards when like I'm not going to start from scratch. That's it. It's game over. I'm never going back to that. I have no collection to add on to, so I'm not even going to start. So in that sense, there is a bit of relief, and but I didn't say relief earlier. I said hope. I said I felt hopeful. I think everything, maybe not everything, but in this situation, I feel like it's largely subjective. There's no real objective explanation for what's happened or how to feel, how to measure what's taken place. So it's just a matter of perception, really. And I could either look at this as I'm being forced, that I'm being forced to start over, or that I get to start over. And I think my behavior and my general outlook and attitude moving forward is going to be heavily determined by which of those mindsets I adopt. And I'm choosing the latter. I'm choosing to see this as an opportunity to start fresh. It's a clean slate. Maybe not in the way that I anticipated, but life rarely ever goes according to plan. So I'm rolling with it. I'm just going to roll with it, do all the things I got to do, mark off the to-do list every day, and just put one foot in front of the other a day at a time. That's all I can do. As far as things changing here for the channel, they're not really going to. I'm still going to do tech content, maybe sprinkled in with some, other things that I like, some other hobbies. And that's the thing. I was just getting into the groove of doing that, of really kind of just making the content that I felt good about, whether it was tech or not. I was doing more content about the Pokemon cards and even like an airsoft video here and there, which was doing pretty well. And I was really just starting to feel good about that new, that new path I was on, and then this. But you just got to get back on the bike, brush yourself off. So the content itself is not really going to change. It's going to be already in the direction that it was headed. But what will probably change, at least for a while, is the format or the style of these videos. They're going to be more maybe like this. Maybe not so much on a tripod like it is now, but me in this apartment. More vlog style, I guess. Maybe more vloggy. Might bring back the vloggity vlogs just a bit. Because, as I mentioned, I do have the studio. The studio office is still standing, but it's about an hour away from here. And it's just not as practical anymore to film there all the time. So what you're going to see probably moving forward, at least for now, is more videos shot here, which means there's just going to be a bit, I don't know. They're going to have more of an intimate, I don't like that word, just raw, just more of a raw feel. It's not a super controlled studio setting. I hope that's all right. I think it's good for me. Personally, I like filming that way. It just feels a bit more organic, maybe. I've never really liked filming in a studio setting environment with the studio lights and behind a desk or even standing. It's just, a camera in my hand just pointed at my face while I'm moving, just in motion, doing something, it's always felt more natural and relaxed for me. So I'm actually looking forward to shooting more in that style. The last thing I want to say is thank you. I want to say thank you to everyone, literally everyone. Everyone has been so insanely awesome. It's. Someone asked me if I cried when the house burned down when I found out. No, I didn't. I didn't even get close. But I've been crying like a baby just thinking about how generous and supportive and loving everyone's been to me throughout this whole thing. It's been super moving. And yeah, I want to thank my parents. I love you. Thank you. I want to thank my girlfriend, Mel. You're amazing. I love you. And I want to thank my friends. You all know who you are, my close circle of friends. I love all you guys. And I want to thank you, whoever's watching this, the community. Anyone who watches my videos, who's been there, whether it's a day or the last 10 years, I don't know. I'm always so blown away by your guys' generosity, how supportive you are. Just reading the comments, positive comments. You know, you're not. I know you're not supposed to base your mood based on internet comments, but man, these last couple of weeks, just reading some of the positivity in there, all the positivity has just cheered me up a lot. It's just made me feel really good, you know, and I don't take that for granted. Just watching the videos, you know, it's like CES content. I'm posting CES videos a week or two after the event. You guys are still watching them. It's like, you guys rock. Thank you for all the likes and the donations. The donations are insane. You guys don't have to do that. You didn't have to do that, and you know that you didn't. I know that you didn't have to do that, but you wanted to, and you did, and thank you. I have always felt weird about receiving things, like receiving money, getting money from someone, and not providing anything in return. So for those who would still like to support me, I don't want to GoFundMe. It's not my thing. I started memberships on the YouTube channel right here. So if you want to be a member, there's 2 tiers. One's $2, one's $5, and you get emojis and stuff like that. I'll be updating more custom emojis. I'm working on that. So thank you for your patience there. But if you'd like to support me, I would like to give something back to you in return in the form of membership perks. So there's 2 tiers, Semi and Chub. Thank you. I know those are great names. And I really just appreciate everyone's support on this. It really does mean the world to me, and it's given me a deeper appreciation for everyone in my life, you guys included. And it's been a really good reminder. I mean, there's a lot of bad things going on right now, just in the world in general, every day. But this whole situation has made me feel so optimistic about people, and that there really is a lot of light out there. It's just, oh, I'm getting chills. God, it's such a cheesy ass line, but they're like, you know, the light only comes out. You only see the light when it's dark. And it's so true, though. Because when it's not dark, there's no need for light. You know, people are busy. People are in the zone, understandably. Everyone's doing their thing. But when shit hits the fan, you really see the best in people come out. And I'm so lucky, so blessed to have everyone in my life that I do. So thank you. I'm rambling now. It's becoming very lame. I'm going to cut it here, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I love and appreciate all of you. I'll see you soon.